Here.
Mark Willis,
Here.
Pamela Cousins,
Present.
Melissa Goshorn,
Here.
Donna Ostenso,
Here.
Wilson Perrin,
Here.
Michael Schisler,
Here.
Joanna Stallings,
Here.
Stacy Taman,
Here.
Ruthie Buckler, I am here. Tony Navarro, he told me Monday night that he may not make it, so I'm going to say he's not here. And John Norris.
Present.
Awesome. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. So with regards to the agenda, do I have a motion to approve said agenda? Is there a second? Is there a motion followed by?
Motion, Wilson.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor, or any discussion on that before we approve it? All those in favor say aye.
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 We have an agenda. We have nothing listed under new business, under old business. I'm sorry, under general business. As we move forward, I think we're going to get an update on the Calvert County Public Schools Blueprint. And I believe, Dr. Sampson, you're going to lead us in that.
Yep. So good afternoon, everyone. And we are slowly chugging along. And I say slowly because there's always speed bumps. I won't call them hurdles, but well, I just did. So there are always things that we have to navigate when it comes to altering plans or readjusting. So we're making progress. The biggest thing is that we received AIB approval on the 27th of our implementation plan. So we're very excited about that. What we were asked to do is submit our detailed budget for our workforce development career counseling MOU. We submitted the MOU, so we have an agreement with the Tri-County Council for Southern Maryland on what our career counseling services will look like. And so we were asked to submit the budget for that, and we are finalizing that this week in hopes of submitting that to the AIB for approval, along with our workforce development MOU. So we posted our career advisor and career advisor coordinator positions today. And so we're looking at hiring 9 career advisors and a coordinator for every secondary school in the county. So we'll actually be rolling that out to principals, secondary principals next week to explain to them what the program will look like in general. So a really high level overview. We'll get into the weeds of that with them a little bit later. But just generally speaking, talking through what they can expect, what the ideal program will look like, and basically they're supervising career development activities and assisting with their aspiring career choices, collaborating with community and school staff to establish partnerships in the community and with businesses to create work-based learning experiences and things of the like. So again, we'll be rolling that out to principals next week, and then a more detailed explanation of what the program looks like will be presented to this committee as well as our Board of Education in an update that I'll be providing in the near future. I'm not sure if it'll be August for the board because that's next week. More than likely it'll be September once we have everything all I's dotted and T's crossed in that regard. Other updates, we have lost 2 members of our expert review team for the county. We had 4. 1 retired, 1 transferred to another school system. And so I am recruiting for expert reviewers to apply to MSDE for the position. MSDE has reopened their expert review team application and are looking for another 130 reviewers. And they're trying to get to 300 reviewers for the state to be able to do all the reviews that are planned for this school year. So we still don't know if Calvert County is on the list for the first year to be reviewed. We'll find that out later. But nonetheless, it would be helpful for us to have some reviewers to be able to gain that information and expertise across the state as we go and look at what other school systems are doing and trying to bring back some best practices here. What else do we have? Also, our team, a couple members are on this committee. We're looking at trying to come closer to not finalizing, but making progress on our career ladder conversations. So interested to see how that process plays out. So we know that that's coming. And just trying to get the ball moving on that. There's a lot of questions from teachers about what it means for them. And so just trying to get some things out to the community once we have some agreements in place and some verbiage that we can put out for people. So as far as updates, that's pretty much it.
You're muted.
I was testing your ability to read lips. Anybody have any follow-up with Dr. Sampson on what he just provided?
Ms. Goshorn?
Yeah, Melissa.
Thank you. I'm not sure if this has been figured out yet or if it's too early in the process, but with the career ladders in place, is that going to impact how we do our bargaining agreements with the union?
Some of it could, but that's yet to be determined. But yeah, some of that could affect it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I see no hands. Nothing under new business. Under old business, we have 2 items that we try to talk about each time just to make sure we're staying up on it. Number 1, public awareness campaign update. Is there information that we need to push out there? Is the Board of Ed pushing it out? Can the county be of assistance pushing it out? So what may be on the table?
So there are 2 things. And the first is our quarterly newsletter that we are establishing this school year. The first will go out August 14th. And so you can expect every 3 months, well, not really 3 months, every 4 months, for that to be published with key items that we're working on, timeline updates, and then any news regarding Blueprint. And so I'm working with Renee Daniels, our Chief Communications Officer, on formatting that and then content. I'm getting some information to her this week so that we can have that vetted and ready to go and then put out the 14th. And then the second edition will be in January. So we're looking at August, January, and then we'll look at where we are after that.
Okay.
The other thing is we're looking at creating a public awareness video for our career counseling initiative. So, Mr. Willis, I was going to get with you to talk about what we could possibly do for that.
Okay.
And we're thinking sometime in September. But we'll see how that goes. That may be too early, but that's the idea.
Okay. All
Other
right.
than that, that's the two major things for public awareness. I mean, we've talked about whether we want to reestablish our community meetings on a regular schedule and what that might look like. But we'll definitely have a couple this year to engage stakeholders on phase 2 of our implementation plan. We just don't have any dates or topics as of yet because we don't have the requirements for phase 2 of the implementation plan or outcome measures or any of that from the AIB. So once that comes down, then we'll have a better idea of how we need to structure those meetings, what the content will be, and what kind of feedback we'll be looking to solicit from our community.
Okay. So based on that, anybody have anything else they'd like to ask or add on the first topic of public awareness? So next item on there, and Dr. Sampson, you might have touched on this a little bit because we have things that we're going to talk about in the future, but we don't have the exact dates and times yet. But item number 2 under old businesses, update on timeline and deliverables. So obviously that's going to change certainly as we get into phase 2. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there are no updates right now.
Okay.
That we're supposed to have information on outcome measures in August. Once we have that, then we can kind of map out the rest of our plan. But we do know, only thing we do know is that phase 2 for our implementation plan is due in March of 2024. And other than that, we'll just kind of see how things play out.
Okay. Does anybody from the group have anything to ask or add on timeline and deliverables?
Joe, I would ask, what do you think are going to be the first noticeable impacts that the public's going to see when it comes to the blueprint? Is it going to be the pre-K early childhood impact, or is it going to be the career ladder? I mean, for the students, the career counseling sessions.
For the public to see, my initial thought was going to be pre-K expansion. That'll probably be the first thing, but the number of students who will be impacted, that's different. So that would be the career counseling piece. But they won't see that first because we're probably not going to kick that off into full gear once we get the staff and they're trained and get them in the schools. We probably won't see that impact until the spring. So, but that will probably have the larger impact in the short term. And then if we can expand the pre-K the way that they're asking us to do, then obviously that'll have more of a long-term impact.
Thank you.
Any other input? All right. Ruthie, I think you owe us a statement for public comment.
I do. There is no one on here from the public. So if there is and I'm missing you, if you raise your hand. I see no one, so I will spare you my speech.
Well, that brings us to any speeches that the commission members might have. So Ruthie, if you will take us through the list.
I will. All right, so we will start with Pamela Cousins.
Further to add, congratulations, Dr. Sampson, on getting your the plan approved.
Thank you. Melissa Goshorn.
No comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna Ostenso.
I would just like to thank Joe for the update today.
Thank you. Wilson Parent.
Also like to thank Joe for the update, and also the looking between now, looks like the next major deliverable is in March. So between now and March, we'll just, we have the newsletter coming out and you're putting together the video. So any new information that would be coming to this Blueprint Committee, or for instance, how often do we need to meet between now and March?
Do you have any?
Was that a question for me?
To somebody.
Okay, so in my opinion, I think monthly is still appropriate because there are always things that are updated and changing. For example, there has been some overall language proposed to update the legislation.
Oh yeah.
And you know, change components or slightly alter language in the pillars. It doesn't overall impact the plan itself, but some of those things will be helpful for me to provide updates to the group so that everybody's on the same page with what we have going on. And then periodically there'll be a pillar, something in a particular pillar that'll come up that I may want to highlight the group. For example, and I didn't share this in my update, but since the question was raised, and I'll share the comment. I asked principals to send me names of teachers who they think would make good candidates for National Board Teacher Certification. And in addition, send me names of diverse teacher candidates, because we want to send targeted invitations to teachers this year to try to encourage expanding the diversity of our National Board teacher pool.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good. And certainly we can play more on your question, Wilson, is we can play this by ear, and you know, Joe and I can talk and push information out to you by email in advance of when we may or may not hold a meeting. So I like the fact that we hold them, because, you know, one of the charges for us is to be as transparent as possible. Even if it's only a little bit of information, that's better than no information if we're holding it. So,
yep.
but we'll play it by ear.
Thank you.
Next group.
Thank you, Wilson. Michael Schisler. Nothing.
Sorry, muted again. Nothing at this time, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Joanna Stallings.
No comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Stacy Taman.
It's time.
Thank you. Tony is not with us. John Norris.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Sampson, any closing remarks from you?
I missed you all.
We missed you too.
Good to see everyone.
About that.
All right, Mr. Willis, you can wrap it up there if you have comments.
Yeah, I would say, Joe, when you mentioned, you know, anytime monies are attached to staffing requirements, and this is all in the name of Blueprint, any information on that, you know, on the cost of something is something that we're interested in. And I realize it all has to be developed. It may be premature to even ask what the cost is going to be, but you know, the sooner we know, we can become partners in how we're going to find whatever funding it is we're looking for. So I would just say in the future, as we develop it, the more we know about it, the better. Other than that, I do want to just make sure you do seek us out if you want our assistance with the any way that we can push information out, we want to be part of that success, to include our video crew if that's what we need to do. So aside from that, I don't have anything else. One last chance. Anybody before I ask for adjournment? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'm assuming all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, stay well.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.